Hey everyone, apologies for the little delay on getting started with the commentary there, but we have this race between karterfreak and Destructor going on. Nice actually on both runners there, getting the water skip very, very quickly. That's good to see. I believe both runners will be going for the short boost route on this race as well, so we should see some really, really exciting stuff going on before too much longer here. Nice quick water platform skip from Carter, another nice quick one from Destructor there. So very nice to see early on here. Again, apologies for the slight delay in getting the commentary started on this one, but looks like we were able to get in here before too long. So have not missed too much. Charge beam for both runners. Looks like karterfreak probably around 10 seconds ahead at this point in time, but we're very early in the race, so not too much that means yet at this point in time. Obviously, a little bit about these two runners. So Destructor was one who I was able to commentate a bit of during the qualifiers, and notably he went for a very, very aggressive one-trip short boost route and managed to land it. It was very, very impressive when you pulled that off. And then Carter is a runner I've been watching for a long time. They've been an amazing runner to watch in the past, and so I'm just very excited to watch this route. Looks like both of them did go ahead and grab that early E-Tank. We see a lot of runners skipping that if they're trying to save every last second that they can. But it looks like they've both picked it up here, so we will see how things, how that shapes things as they continue on forward. There's a couple of, there's a possibility of a hell run in early Catarus that I expect both of them will probably go for. So grabbing that, especially in a race situation, grabbing that E-Tank makes that a little bit safer. and then additional safety possibly for short boost later on. So we're both on this, I always forget what those are called, thermal coupling thingy. I can never remember the name of it. It's like the second it's not on screen anymore, I've already forgotten what it's called. But both of them hitting that, and they'll be heading over towards the first Emmy encounter here very shortly. All right, looks like Carter's managed to grab a couple of extra seconds just with straight up movement going through here. There's first try Magus skip for Carter, very, very nice. And we'll see how Destructor does. Also first try, very, very nice. I would not expect either of these runners to be having issues with a lot of these. I hesitate to say more basic tricks, but they kind of are at this point. They're some of they're still very technical, but some of the easier tricks to have in the route. Very nice brain room for Carter and for Destructor as well. And we'll see what path Carter goes for here. Looks like they're going for the fastest possible option. Ooh, actually got the break before the slide. That's very nice for Carter. See if Destructor is able to match it. Looks like he is. That is amazing. Very well done by both runners, getting that faceplate break before having to move. That requires them to miss 0 shots and to start shooting the second that they land on that platform and have perfect platforming up until that point. It's very difficult to pull off, so very awesome to see from both runners there. So this is a lower bracket match. Whichever runner loses here today. Oh no, a little bit of platforming issue there for Carter. Still ahead, but a little bit of a time loss there. Destructor actually had a little bit of an issue on it too. That's kind of funny that they both had that. But like I was saying, this is a lower bracket race, so whichever runner loses will be eliminated from the tournament. And whoever wins gets the wonderful prize of racing B-Dog in the next round. So this is this tournament is really heating up at this point. All right, damage boost through here. Carter gets it right away, no problem. Destructor as well. That was very clean on both sides. That damage boost section through there. That was wonderful to see. And they're now with the couple of little hiccups that Carter had with platforming through there. They're now, I think, less than a second away from each other, maybe like 2 seconds of distance between these runners. All in all, a very nice Artaria. Getting out of Artaria under, I believe it was 9 minutes and 28 seconds was on the clock when they were both exiting. And yeah, literally a 2-second difference between them right now. We do have some damage boost tech coming up here in a moment. Destructor actually getting a little bit hung up on a ledge there for a moment, which doesn't seem like the biggest deal, and normally it isn't, but when the racers are this close to each other, it can be. Literally even the speed at which they can mash through Atom text, although this is the last Atom that they'll encounter, can make all the difference. Yeah, 2-second difference right now. See how they both do with this little bit of platforming here. There's a few ways to handle this room that Carter is just now entering. I'm gonna expect them both will go for. Oh no, Carter missed it. Looks like Destructor missed it as well, but Destructor was able to go for the backup strat and get a little bit faster of a movement through there. So Destructor's now just a couple of seconds ahead. Wow, no, completely in sync. Completely synchronized between the two runners right now. This is amazing. Okay, how do they get through this hell run? Very smooth from both so far. And very nice. These two runners are 100% in sync right now. This is amazing. 11 minutes into the route. Bad ME positioning for Carter, but he sneaks past it no problem. Oh no, Carter missed the jump a little bit. That loses him a bit of time, so the runners will be separated once again, but again, only by like a second. Nice ME positioning for both going through that section. No, neither one had to worry about sneaking past him in the corner there. And neither runner went for the... oh no. Carter having a little trouble with that button. Neither runner went for the pseudo wave there, which is not surprising to see in a race format. But yes, the first equalizer is coming up. We are rapidly approaching Atom Skip. And that's a point where we can really begin to see some, well, with the caliber of these runners, I would not expect Atom Skip to be as much of an equalizer, but we'll see how it goes through here. They are on the way to Atom Skip right now. And here we go for Destructor. Oh, I thought Carter had it there. Destructor gets through first. Actually has a little bit of a hiccup on the enemy just afterwards. Oh, I thought Carter had it again. There it is. So it was about 7th or 8th try, I think, for Carter. And I think 4th or 5th for Destructor. So I guess probably actually would have been about 10th try for Carter. But still, neither runner getting held up there too long. There is obviously a fairly substantial lead for Destructor now at this point, but only by about like 20 or 30 seconds. That's something that can easily be made up. Well, especially later on in the route when they get to the screw attack short boost. That's something that can be easily made up later. But even just through platforming and handling bosses. Oh no! Destructor got hit by the green Emmy. Nice parry. Very nice parry. That saved that. Oh man, what a tense moment. He could have easily lost his entire lead there, but the parry saves it. Does, however, give Carter a little bit of time to catch up. And there's the second energy tank for Destructor. He'll be moving on, and after this switch, be leaving Caterus. For the time being, at least. There's the second energy tank for Carter. So it was about 15:02 or 3 for Destructor on hitting the button. About 15:14. So yeah, about a 10 to 15 second difference between the two runners right now. I'll try and get a better count here. 15:33 for Destructor, entering the tram. and 15:44 for Carter. So an 11-second difference at this point in time. We're 15 minutes into the run, and the two runners have only 11 seconds between them. Which is actually amazing that Carter's been able to claw back that much time. Obviously, Destructor had that little bit of a hiccup with the green Emmy. That first parry, landing the first parry, means that he didn't lose too much time on it overall, which is amazing that he was able to pull that off. Nice little slide hop there from Destructor. And from Carter as well, very nice. Now the platforming through this room they're coming up to is super important, just because you can gain or lose a lot of time just literally in how you move through that room, especially if you don't move fast enough. You can notice just how quickly they're able to, just the tiny amount of little jump that they're able to do to get back up onto the platform after grabbing the ledge. It actually ends up making a fairly substantial difference in how quickly you can move through that room, to the tune of like 2 or 3 seconds, just with all the little quick hops that you can make in there. And there's wide beam for Destructor. And here it comes for Carter. Yeah, still only about a 12-second difference between the two runners at this point. See how everyone handles. Oh no, a little bit of trouble on that first wide beam block from Carter. Destructor got through it, no problem. These blocks they're not supposed to be as much of a hurdle as they actually can be. They can be really finicky about whether or not they actually get out of the way when you shoot them. In that case, Carter, I feel like Carter should have moved. He did everything right, but who knows? Sometimes they just really hate you. So back to Caterus now. We'll be doing a little bit of moving around. There's one more wide beam block to get through, and then on to Green Emmy and Morph Ball. I'm curious if we're going to see a Professor Stupid approach on the Green Emmy kill from either of these runners. It's a method by which you kill the Green Emmy by basically getting right down into his face and hopping over him back and forth until he's dead. It doesn't save a lot of time immediately, but it does put you in a better position moving into the next section. So it's something that can save a couple of seconds if you're able to do it well. But it's also very risky because you're basically just right up in his face the whole time. Nice quick brain fight for Destructor. Looking very good for Carter as well. Very nice. Destructor going for the more standard kill on Green Emmy, which is very safe and still very fast. Carter's going for Professor Stupid. Oh no, he's going for something else. What is this? I have not seen this setup before. It is a variation on Professor Stupid, fighting him down here. Very clean. Very clean. And that will actually, so you'll see Destructor is finishing all the way up here in this top area. Carter, we'll see, is actually going to be a couple of platforms down from where Destructor is coming out. So the little bit of platforming that Destructor is about to do here, right there, is about where Carter will turn out. Not exactly. He's got to slide through a thing to his left, but it puts him a little bit closer, saves him a little bit of time platforming. Only a couple of seconds, but he is a little bit behind, so every last second he can claw back at this point. Nice hole-in-one as well for Carter there. Every last second he can pull through here. Hardest jump in the game. Destructor nails it. Skips the missile tank. It's not actually the hardest jump in the game. I just like to call it that because, I don't know. I struggle with it, I guess. It is a difficult jump because you have to stop and then do a vertical jump. And if you do it quickly enough, you don't get hit by those enemies. Yeah, I'm not sure the exact reason that Emmy kill method is called Professor Stupid, but it doesn't seem like I really need to ask because it's literally just jumping down directly into his face. So definitely a lot of risk involved. But now we're on to the Varia climb. Lots of very, very tight platforming through this section. You may have noticed there, Destructor was actually... It's actually pretty difficult, that little hop there. Because you have to jump and shoot that enemy within like a couple of frames before you hit it. Destructor lands the corner shot on the door, which saves about 10 to 15 frames. It's not a lot of time, but looks flashy, so it's always cool to get. Corner shot for karterfreak as well, very nice. High risk, low reward. You're not wrong. Yeah, no, it's definitely a high risk, low reward tactic, but that's most of what speedrunning is all about at the end of the day, is especially when you're at this stage, at this level of play, you're doing things that are very, very risky to try and squeeze out just a couple of seconds here and there. So it's something that once you're good at it, if you're very good at it, it's less risk, obviously. Like once you practice it a whole lot, there's less risk involved. For example, I'm assuming both runners will be going for the screw attack short boost route. I have no reason to believe they won't be. And that is something that is very, very risky unless you're very, very good at it. Overall, compared to the other most common round, the early space jump route, screw attack short boost saves about 4 minutes, but you can easily spend 10 to 15 minutes just trying to land the trick, and that's if you can do it at all. So, but yeah, the time save overall on Professor Stupid is not very high, but it is a time save. So if you're confident in pulling it off, might as well get the extra free second. All right, so we are on to Kraid next. We will see how Kraid is going to cooperate or not with both of these runners. And both of them did skip that early Missile Plus tank on the way up to Varia suit. So I'm going to assume we'll see a lot of charge shots in phase 1, likely followed by a single wall jump using Morph Ball to get up to the top in phase 2. So that way they, by having used the charge shots, they will be full on missiles and able to immediately unload on them. That's my guess, but let's see what happens here. Oh no, Destructor is just going to straight up open up with missiles. So missiles is a bit faster in this phase, but it does mean that he's a little bit at the mercy of Kraid RNG. But he did get good RNG. He's actually at 32 missiles now. Carter we see going for the double missile and charge shot approach. So far that was actually a very good single wall jump for Destructor there. See how Carter does. Carter having a little bit of issue with it at first, but is able to make it. Destructor had a very nice Kraid there overall. That was a very clean Kraid for Destructor. And so there is Diffusion Beam for Destructor. Carter should be finishing Kraid off here momentarily. Neither of them having any issue with missiles, which is good to see. That's always frustrating on Kraid when you just like literally just run out of missiles. Carter had a little bit of trouble with the single wall jump in phase 2. So he's going to be a little bit further behind now. I'll try to get a count here as they go through this teleporter. 25:45 for Destructor going through the teleporter. And Carter, 26:09. So that's about a 24-second difference between the two runners right now, which is still not a huge gap. Destructor now. If you are familiar with the other route, this is where the routes diverge. Normally, the early space jump route, he would have gone to the right through that lava room and gone and gotten early grapple. But in the screw attack short boost route, we do a bunch of... Oh, he got spotted, but still managed to sneak right past him there. But he has to make this jump. Very nice. Destructor was able to sneak past the yellow Emmy there. That jump, if you get spotted at all, the yellow Emmy is right on your tail. So if you don't make that single wall jump to get up through that section, you can lose a whole ton of time to having to run from him. Carter having a little bit nicer time with yellow Emmy not being in the way, so he's just able to get through that section no problem. Destructor having a strange amount of trouble with that. It's just a normal jump right there. It happens. And that's why I will always say, like, they're only about 20 seconds apart from each other right now. Anything can happen in a race. Sometimes you just, for whatever reason, a simple jump is what causes the difference and allows people to claw back some time. And there's bombs for Destructor. And yeah, I think Jalek is correct. I think with where the yellow Emmy was spawned there, the fastest method through there is to actually get spotted. Just because there's the way that you move through it, getting spotted. The fastest method through there involves getting spotted, I believe. It's not actually that like you gain anything by being spotted. It's just that the fastest way to move past him involves being spotted, which does still have the effect of making that jump, that single wall jump right after him, something that you have to land because he is chasing you. And if you don't land that jump, then you get stuck running from him for a while. The alternative in that position is to just sit cloaked for a moment, but you can waste upwards of 10 seconds waiting for him to move past you at that point. Which is about the amount of time, a little bit less, but about the amount of time. Ooh, nice hole-in-one for Carter there again. I believe Destructor got it as well. About the amount of time that you risk losing if you don't make that jump right away. All right, we're moving on to Berenia. Next stop will be Flash Shift, which means the movement is about to start getting crazy. There is another potential equalizer coming up. With these two runners, I wouldn't expect it to be too much of one, but there is a bomb juggle that will be needed to go into the back door of the Flash Shift entrance. Essentially, they will be on one of the pressure plates that closes a door. They'll just be sitting on it, essentially. And they need to use bombs to juggle themselves in the air so that they can avoid landing on the platform and get through it, essentially into the back entrance. Normally, it's the way you come out of Flash Shift to be able to get that upgrade. Apparently, I had difficulty with that sentence. Apologies. Today I got to wake up and commentate a dread race. So my brain is maybe a little bit behind me still, but that's fine. right, here we are approaching the bomb juggle for Destructor. See how he does. Looks like a good setup. Oh no, he slipped. Whew. I was worried when he landed the second time also. All right, here's Carter. Carter's through first try. Very nice. So that's going to claw back a fair bit of time there for Carter. And neither runner actually landed on the platform as they were going through either. It's possible to land on it by accident even as you go through the door. Oh, is this the new? This is the new setup that we're seeing from Destructor for the for that corner shot, that corner pseudo wave. He's gonna go for the old pause buffer method. We're seeing the same setup from karterfreak here. Oh no! Destructor missed the water bomb jump. He's gonna have to set it up again. Got it second try. First try for Carter. Carter clawing back time. We'll try and get an accurate count here. About 32:01 stepping onto the tram for Destructor. 32:06. Carter has managed to go from being 20, what did we say earlier? 24 seconds behind to only about 4 seconds behind. So easy to do that water bomb jump too early there. Yeah. It's easy to do it early, and it's also I find it easy to do it kind of late, to the point where the bomb goes off before you actually. I guess it still counts as too early. The bomb goes off before you actually get to it. That is the trickiest water bomb jump in the route, because it's the only one you have to do at an angle. All the other water bomb jumps that you come across, you're just going straight up. But yeah, very nice Berenia for Carter, allowing them to catch up a whole bunch of time. So we'll see how both runners get through Yellow Emmy here. This is the most technical brain room of the route, because you have to do it normally. And it's the one that has, you don't have speed booster yet because you're about to get it, and you don't have screw attack yet, but you still have the sort of ramp up in difficulty throughout the route of there just being more things going on the screen. Nicely done by both runners getting through that. They're just going to plant their feet up here and shoot this Yellow Emmy right in the face. Very quick kill from Destructor, and incredibly quick from Carter as well. That just shows the practice and, I guess, discipline of both of these runners, being able to recognize exactly where to aim even before the Emmy is visible, and start the stream of shots so that as he comes into view, he's already getting hit. About a 6-second difference between both runners right now. Some nice little speed keep through here. I doubt either of them are going to bother with that Missile Plus tank up there. Destructor nails the speed keep. Now, what I wonder is are both of them going to grab this E-tank? Oh no! Carter slipped a little bit on the speed keep. Okay, both runners did grab the third E-tank, and that is likely the final E-tank that we will see throughout the run. Very nice speed keep for Destructor through that section. See if Carter's able to mirror it. You'll notice they're both... you missed a little bit on the morph ball there. You notice they both, as they were going through that section, did a little bit of a hop about halfway through, just to be able to kind of clip the corner of a section of speed blocks, so that way they are destroyed for later. That just saves them from having to do some extra speed boost tech later on to actually break through those blocks. So a couple of speed keep hiccups there for Carter is going to put them a little bit further behind. But still only about a 10-second difference between the two runners. We're now on our way to pick up Grapple, because it's literally just right here along the way. Yeah, Destructor is really, really nailing a lot of his movement right now. Doing very, very well. Both of those speed keep sections were very solid. I always love a route that includes a downward speed boost or Shine Spark. The route people used to do a downward Shine Spark through that section that Destructor just went through also, but we eventually learned that it was actually faster to not. So now people just fall. Particularly in Morph Ball form. Samus actually falls faster in Morph form than she does in regular form. And that upward speed boost there is just to make that jump possible. All right, Destructor is going for the one-trip method. He nails it! Destructor with the one-trip screw attack short boost. That is gonna save so much time for him. That is amazing. Oh. You can see how pleased he is right now. Oh man, that is incredible. All right. So it's now Destructor's race to lose. Landing that... So, okay. To explain what just happened a little bit. We can see what Carter's going for right now is he's trying to do what's called short boost. It's essentially a trick that allows Samus to start running for the speed booster as she's still moving backwards from a flash shift, which saves you a little bit of time on the speed boost, which in turn will allow you to... Better having to come this way to farm a little bit. But will in turn allow you to get a Shine Spark off in a position where otherwise you would not be able to. Carter really cutting close there on a couple of those. He's got to farm up a bit to get some health back. So essentially, that's the trick that they're going for. What Destructor did that made it even more complicated is there's a section ahead of where they are where there's a floor that you need to use a bomb to get through, and then a diffusion block that needs to be destroyed. Carter has already destroyed the diffusion block, but what Destructor did was set up for the short boost just as he got to this door the first time, which allowed him to basically go right through. But the timing was very tricky because he needed to... Oh man, poor Carter. The timing was very tricky because he still needed to be able to destroy that diffusion block in time. Okay, here goes Carter. There we go. Carter's gotten it. I actually had thought that Carter had already destroyed the diffusion block, but I guess he hadn't. I believe he may have gone for the one-trip method as well. I was actually watching Destructor at the time, so I missed it. But Carter has been able to get through. He is now quite a fair bit behind. So at this point, Carter's hope is that Destructor manages to screw something up pretty dramatically later on in the route. But that's entirely possible. It is entirely possible. There's still a lot of the run left to go. But yeah, very, 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 very difficult trick. We've seen a lot of runners in this tournament. A lot of runners who've made it very far in this tournament, in fact, who still don't use the screw attack short boost route just because of how difficult short boost itself is. And to be able to land it in one trip the way that Destructor did is insane. Incredibly difficult. Destructor gets the speed keep through that section as well, which is going to make that a little bit faster. Now onto the quiet robo fight, but In this route, it's a little bit more Sonic the Hedgehog. Not a problem at all. Easy fight for Destructor. This is one of the biggest reasons that the screw attack short boost route saves so much time is now you've got screw attack for so much of the run, and it makes fights like that that robot fight that Destructor was just at so much easier and so much faster. You seem to be hinting that it's yeah. Did I mention that screw attack or did I mention that short boost is difficult? It's because if I haven't mentioned that short boost is hard, it's hard. Yeah, I didn't even mention the fact that that one is being done in a cold room, and that you have to then do a whole bunch of very fast platforming to get into position for it. Like it's ridiculously difficult. I cannot stress enough how insane what Destructor pulled off actually is. How unbelievably hard that trick is. All right, so next stop is... What is the next stop? I've been thinking so much about how crazy that is that I've lost track of where they are in the route. Next stop will be Super Missile, I believe. There's just a bunch of platforming that needs to be done to get around to it. Going back through Berenia for the second time. We're going to see a fun little speed keep section for Destructor here in just a moment. Carter now making his way to the Quiet Robo fight. Also gets the speed keep the Destructor got. It's very nice. And Sonic the Hedgehog. Nice quick kill. But yeah, poor Carter is minutes behind at this point. All right, Destructor setting up for the speed keep. Gets it through the tunnel. Getting the speed keep through that morph ball tunnel is the most important part of that first section because that saves like literally, I think, 6 seconds. See how he does on the speed boost here. Nails it. Very nice. And now we have Drog Skip, which is one of the earliest tricks that you learn as a speedrunner, but can also be one that you accidentally lose a whole bunch of time on. Nicely done. See how he gets through the room. Oh, cut it close there, but he made it. That room can be tricky. Especially with, so what you'll see for a lot of runners, especially when you're just starting out, if you want to get through that room quickly, you actually go into Cloak. The problem is, as you're going through Cloak, you will lose a whole bunch of health because you'll run out of Aeon energy as you're going in there. So a lot of runners will not bother cloaking once they get to this degree of running. They won't bother cloaking as they go through that room. Which means that the enemies see you, which means that as soon as they see you, they start moving faster. And it means that you have to get through that very, very rapidly. Which makes it tough. So the precision that is needed to move through there that quickly is pretty immense. Another little Sonic the Hedgehog here for Destructor. Combined with the Shine Spark makes that a very, very fast fight. A little bit of a slip there. Didn't quite grab the ledge the way that he wanted to, but it's fine. That last room that Destructor went through with the big pink enemy in it, it's entertaining because there's just enough space to start a speed boost so that you are speed boosting as you reach the enemy. So oftentimes you just basically just straight up run at that big pink enemy and deal with it. Looks like Carter had a little bit of trouble on the speed keep section through there, but he will obviously get through without too much issue. Let's see how he does on Drog Skip up here. Very clean. Very clean through that room for Carter. Very nicely done. That was as close to perfect, I think, that Drog Skip area can be done. All right. Destructor on his way over to Elin at this point. Just be taking a quick pop in there to pick up the plasma beam upgrade, and also maybe slightly, just a little bit, accidentally release a whole ton of X parasites onto the entirety of the planet. No big deal. I'm sure there's nothing problematic about that whatsoever. Samus won't have to completely blow up the planet like she always does. I'm sure that won't happen. Onto the gold Chozo robot fight for Carter. Very nice. Yeah, so there is a one cycle strat for Drog now, which is, it's insane. I was watching the clip of it, and it looks like it essentially involves like a whole combination of missile, charge shot, missile, all in like a single cycle, so that they both land on the same frame. Sort of nonsense. Fortunately, it doesn't really matter for this route because we don't fight Drog in this route, but for the all bosses route, it's going to have some pretty big implications. Also for boss rush. All right, Destructor on to the first Chozo Warrior fight. Very, very fast. Very fast. As you can see, he was also weaving in some super missiles there as he was landing the hits. So that makes that fight very, very quickly. I'm actually not sure if Destructor uses turbo or not for that fight. Because turbo is, of course, allowed in the Dread community with some restrictions. Specifically, some restrictions on how fast the turbo can be. A little bit of a high five. Destructor leaving Elin, getting off the tram, or getting on the tram just as Carter's getting off of it. Looks like we have a whole bunch of new viewers joining us as well, coming over from SpeedGaming 2. Welcome, welcome. We are in the middle of a, nearing the end actually, of a race between Destructor and karterfreak in the Metroid Dread any percent no major glitches tournament. Destructor has a pretty substantial lead at this point. Can weave with a turbo controller? Yeah, it's actually really easy to weave in missiles with a turbo controller. You basically just hold your turbo X and just tap the R button from time to time. Water bomb jump here for Destructor. Easy enough. This room can be a problem. Had a little bit of a hiccup there at the start of it, but he actually recovered quite nicely. See if... Okay, no bad spawn on Blue Emmy for Destructor. We've got Carter on to the Chozo Warrior fight. Very fast brain kill for Destructor, as we could see, because he has both speed boost and screw attack. Does require a little bit of bomb jumping shenanigans to get up there with the screw attack because he doesn't have space jump or spin boost at this point. Nice clean finish on that fight for Carter. And very, very clean Blue Emmy kill. That blue Emmy quick kill is very annoying because he just basically sits behind your health and energy meter the whole time. You can't really see what you're doing, but these runners are very, very practiced and know exactly where to be aiming the whole time. There is Ice Missile for Destructor. Carter now on his way over to Ice Missile. Or their way, excuse me. All right. Have to be a little bit careful there as Carter's moving through that section. But here's the water bomb jump, and then this annoying room. Carter handles it very, very cleanly. See if Blue Emmy is going to be a pain. No Blue Emmy. No problem. And there's that bomb juggle that I mentioned earlier, or bomb jump that I mentioned earlier, needed for the quick kill. Carter handles it no problem. And Destructor is now on his way to Gravity Suit. So he'll have a little speed keep section coming up here. You may have noticed, I didn't, Destructor did the same, I didn't point it out, but Carter did some it may look strange, but it's important movement needed to make the blue Emmy spawn in that top left corner as quickly as possible. And not actually, I guess spawn is the wrong word, but what'll happen as you're exiting the brain fight is the blue Emmy will already be moving, and if you have Samus move around in a certain way, you can sort of convince the blue Emmy to be where you want it to be coming out of there. Little light vandalism here from Destructor. We probably could find a door somewhere in this facility to get to Gravity Suit, but I mean, Samus doesn't go through doors if she doesn't have to. So instead, we just drop a giant water tank onto a tube and go through the wreckage. Why not? So there is Gravity Suit for Destructor. And there's going to be some very funky movement coming up here for Destructor to be able to get up to the next fight. So he's going to have to come in here, charge up a speed boost. He'll charge it there as he picks up that missile tank. Now he needs to do some careful jumping through there so as not to accidentally use the speed boost too early. And then has to do a bomb juggle to get all the way up here, or an infinite bomb jump to get all the way up there. Handles it very, very nicely. Not exactly perfect, but pretty close. And now here, even with screw attack, it's still ideal to get both of these standing on the same platform like he has them right now, so that he can shoot them both. And then he'll finish the other one. Oh, he actually didn't have to finish the other one off with screw attack. Very, very, very clean kill from Destructor there. Carter now on their way to the going through this speed boost puzzle here. On their way to Gravity Suit. Destructor will be on his way to Golzuna now to pick up cross bombs. Seems to be skipping spin boost. So there, ooh. Oh, that's unfortunate. So Destructor actually got hit in the face by the... You can see he's frustrated. Oh no, and then he accidentally went up there as well. Got hit in the face by the... I forget the actual name for those. The eye door thing. got knocked down, had to do a speed boost to get back up to the top, accidentally went through a section that opens up in the ceiling, which made that speed boost take a little bit longer. And I don't think he wanted the boss to get knocked in that direction here for the fastest possible kill. So this will be an opportunity for Carter to make up some time. You can see Carter is already working their way to this double robo fight and having some very, very clean movement. Still a very fast Golzuna kill for Destructor. Carter has unfortunately gotten the two of them. Well, they were out of position for a moment. They were able to get him back in position quickly, which is very nice. Destructor now working his way through the worst room in the game. Cross bombs have decided to cooperate, which is nice. But Carter was actually able to make up a fairly significant amount of time there, as Destructor was struggling with Golzuna a little bit. If Carter can nail Golzuna, no problem, then there's a possibility for even more of a time save. All right, here comes Golzuna for Carter. Destructor just on his way to SQ, I believe, at this point. You may have noticed Carter dropped a bomb there for a second. That's just for timing purposes. Oh no! That's unfortunate. Carter unfortunately missed the Shine Spark. He's going to get the backup. But we'll see if they're able to get the... No, not going to be able to get the third one as well. So a little bit of a struggle on Golzuna for both runners. Carter has to be very careful here. Oof, that timing was close. Golzuna hurts. So it's very easy to accidentally die on Golzuna if you start to fall behind a little bit. All right, Destructor actually took a little bit of a different path than what we normally see to get down there. It doesn't really matter. Going for what I call the YOLO speed boost through there. Just because sometimes the wave Emmy is just in the way and you have to do some funky moving to avoid him. But did not have any bad positionings on Purple Emmy, so able to get right through. And I'll point out as well that neither runner picked up spin boost. Some runners will prefer spin boost over space jump. It makes some of the platforming they have to do immediately afterwards a little bit easier, but ultimately isn't as good of an upgrade as space jump. Very nice quick kill for Destructor there, and he may have gotten the 2-cycle. He did get the 2-cycle on the X-Parasite as well. That was a very clean SQ kill for Destructor. So Destructor will take a quick detour over here in just a moment to pick up Space Jump. There is a, I'll point it out, there is a spot here where he's going to have to just move very, very quickly to avoid getting locked into the room where Space Jump is. It'll be just after this fight that he's about to have here with these two robots. Goes over to the left so that he can do the Shine Spark onto the Gold Chozo robot, because that one has more health. overall a very clean fight. But he needs to get up into the left here to pick up space jump real quick. He got space jump, but he needs to get out of this room before the door closes behind him. I think he should be able to. It's just a very tight timing. Whew. It was very close. You guys could see the door closing literally as he was walking through it. So space jump or spin boost, one of the two is required for the route because, well, maybe not fully required, but you get very, very slow through some sections if you don't have one or the other of them, because you end up having to do bomb. You would have to do infinite bomb jumps instead through a few sections, especially through escape. And I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not sure if it is required or not, but at the absolute worst, you would have to do a whole bunch of infinite bomb jumps, which are very, very slow. So not having one or the other of the two would be a pretty significant time loss. I actually missed Carter's SQ kill, but if I missed it, it must have been very quick, so I looked away for just a moment. All right, Destructor's going for the ultimate swag kill on Purple Emmy here. This requires him to not miss more than, I think he can miss 2 shots through this and still make it. All right, he got the faceplate pop. Very nice. Very, very nice. So that kill, there's another method that you can do it in called, we refer to it as deep blue. It involves using something of a glitch to put that whole area underwater, which makes the Emmy move slower. But that also means the Emmy moving slower also means that it takes him longer to get there. Doing it the way that Destructor just did it is the currently fastest known way to kill the wave Emmy. But it's very precise. You're literally like letting him walk up to you and hoping that you break the faceplate before it stabs you. And as I said, that requires you to land all but I think you can miss 2 shots and still make it. But you're also shooting him at a weird angle the whole time, so the actual angle that you need to shoot him is tough. Because you're not shooting him directly in the faceplate. You're kind of shooting him in the neck right behind the faceplate. We'll see what route or what method Carter goes for here. We are now nearing the end of the route as well. There's just 2 Chozo warriors for Destructor to fight, and then Ravenbeak. And these 2 Chozo warrior fights are basically back to back. All right, no deep blue for Carter. Destructor onto the red Chozo warrior fight. Carter going for the same kill method on the wave Emmy. And you can kind of see how, as it was climbing down the wall there. Oh no. Carter had to duck out a little bit early, didn't quite get the faceplate pop. Should be able to get it here. Oh no, he got hit. Oh, that's unfortunate for Carter. Destructor with that quick red Chozo warrior kill as well. So Carter's going to go again. There's power bombs for Destructor. You may notice also Carter just used a flash shift to get into this corner. That's because that plants you as far in that corner as you can possibly get. And it's just a consistent way to get as much space as possible to shoot this Emmy. He should be able to get the faceplate pop here. Yes, he did. There we go. Wave Emmy is defeated. Nice speed keep through that section for Destructor. I almost thought he activated the bomb jump, or the shine spark a little bit too early there, but timing was perfect. The old Chozo warrior fight going smoothly for Destructor. You may notice the use of Storm Missile on both this fight and the previous one. That's because they have shields, and they basically cycle through a method in which they'll occasionally lower their shields. You can, like, especially if you're playing casually, you can use a grapple beam to rip the shield off after they do a specific movement. But that's slower. So instead, what we do is we charge up a Storm Missile volley so that as soon as the shield is no longer in place, we release the Storm Missile volley, get a whole bunch of damage in, usually fire off an extra missile and maybe a beam shot or two just to squeeze in a little bit more damage, and that's usually allows you to get as fast a kill as possible on them. Carter now on their way to the red Chozo warrior, as Destructor is approaching Ravenbeak. So now you can see on Carter's side what I was just talking about with charging the Storm Missile. Also notice that even though the shield was no longer in place as the red Chozo warrior was transitioning, they still charged up the Storm Missile, because the Chozo warrior is actually invulnerable during that time period. See how Destructor does on the gold skip for the first part of Ravenbeak. Doesn't actually land gold skip. Okay, so he's essentially he wanted to skip this phase. Ravenbeak cannot be damaged right now, and he essentially just has to wait for another counterable move to come up. There it is. So he should be able to push him with enough damage during this cutscene. But that was a loss of 20 or 30 seconds there, unfortunately. What he wanted to be able to do was push enough damage during that first cutscene to be able to skip that phase entirely. Interesting positioning method for Destructor here. Normally, well, a lot of the time, what we'll see is runners trying to get Ravenbeak essentially up to a corner, because that causes Ravenbeak to not do a couple of the moves that are a little bit more annoying to deal with. But Destructor just feeling confident, I suppose. You can also see him weaving in cross bombs from time to time. Also, he did just get the counter move, but decided to not go for the parry on the cutscene because it was late enough into the encounter. That cutscene can be good to keep if it's early in the fight, because you are able to do a lot more damage per second while it's up. But if it's later in the fight and you've already done a bunch of damage to the boss, you can lose time just because you're still locked in the cutscene even after the boss has technically been had enough damage done to it. So Destructor onto Ravenbeak X. He should be feeling very confident in the run at this point, because we really just have the escape sequence to get through. may have noticed that he waited a little while to start firing the beam on Ravenbeak X as well. That's actually a time save for complicated reasons that I won't go into right now. But and there you can also see how having space jump, like I mentioned earlier, saved a bit of time. You can also get up there with a Shine Spark, but it is a little bit faster to do it with space jump. Nicely done with the speed keep through that morph ball tunnel. Curious if he's going to go. There is a Shine Spark section that you can try for here. It doesn't save a ton of time, but it does look cool. Looks like he's going for it. He's going to do a speed keep there, and then another one there just to keep get the Shine Spark going again. Didn't quite land it. It's very, very precise going through that sort of upward section there because you have to do some very, very quick wall jumps. Karterfreak is on to Ravenbeak. Looks like he got a very nice early gold skip, and he's gotten him locked into the corner as well in a very nice manner. Just pumping damage into him as much as possible. There's a 1:11:46 for Destructor. That is a very, very, very fast run for Destructor. So we see Carter is now on to phase 3 of Ravenbeak. Gets an early sun, which he's going to have to drop a power bomb to deal with. Actually, he just jumps over the counter move entirely there. Probably because they felt that they could get the extra damage in even without it. The counter can cause Ravenbeak to take a little bit less damage while he's sort of recovering, even if you're not using the cutscene. So it can be a little bit of a time loss in that sort of situation to take the counter. But Carter is through Ravenbeak, and they'll be moving on to Ravenbeak X and the escape sequence now. So despite the extra time loss on the short boost section, Carter's actually still managed to end up in he managed to claw back probably about 2 minutes worth of time throughout the rest of the run, with the difference in time that it took them to get the screw attack short boost compared to Destructor. I never got a complete idea of how far Carter was behind after that, but it was significant for quite a while. And to be halfway through the Ravenbeak fight by the time Destructor is finishing, in fact, most of the way through the Ravenbeak fight by the time Destructor was finishing, is actually a significant catch-up. All right, Carter working through the last little bit of the escape here. As soon as we get through this, looks like Carter going for the speed keep method as well. We'll see how this goes with them. Almost all the way through. Last section, not quite able to land it. Last little bit here. And that's a 1:14:33 for Carter. So finishing just shy of 3 minutes behind Destructor, but still a very, very, very clean, still very fast. Clean is maybe the wrong word, but still a very fast run for Carter. So GG to Carter. And GG to Destructor as well, who has won the race and is now joining us here in Discord. Destructor, how you feeling right now?
Hey everyone, feeling good. A bit of disappointed because 30 seconds on Golzuna, then 30 seconds on RB would have been a 110, which would have been pretty cool to get in a race. But like I used to say, a win is a win, so I should focus on the the result in terms of victory, defeat, and not just time. So I'm satisfied. That's cool.
Yeah, you got that that one trip method for the screw attack short boost as well, which is now the second time I've seen you pull that off in this tournament. It seemed like you were very, very pleased with yourself after that. How are you feeling about that whole method?
I was feeling pumped. It's always just puts a smile on your face. A third time actually, because I got it once during the qualifier, but yeah, second time in bracket.
Nice.
It's just you really get this this adrenaline pumping, and your heart beats a lot faster once you got the confirmation that you're up there and actually got the trick than right before it. It's like the energy you get simply from knowing that you did the hard thing. It just feels so great, and it's a lot of pressure that is just gone from your shoulders as soon as you get it.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely put a lot of pressure on Carter as well, who has now been able to join us also. Carter, how are you? I feel like obviously you lost a lot of time on the short boost, but it seemed like you were clawing back a ton of time throughout the rest of the run and able to still finish pretty close overall despite the time loss on screw attack short boost. But how are you feeling about that?
My honest opinion of that run is that pretty much the entire thing was bad. I'm just like, even outside of short boost, like I was 20 seconds behind at the very beginning of the game from a really bad Corpius, and then Adam Save Skip took me like 9 tries when that's generally been a first try thing for me for majority of my runs. I lost over a minute and a half probably on short boost. I nearly died. I had to run back like through the cold room because I fell down, and that's all after missing like the first attempt at short boost, which should have been good, but no, I pressed down slightly too early, so that was the end of that. Then Golzuna was awful. Pretty much the only thing that went good I can think of off the top of my head was that I got SQ one round. That was about it.
Yeah, I did notice. I looked over at Destructor's screen as you were entering SQ's room, and then by the time I glanced back, SQ was already dead. So I was like, well, it must have been a very fast kill if it was that short amount of a time that it took to actually kill it. So congrats on the one cycle for that. But yeah, it definitely seemed like I don't know, something in the air or something. Seemed like you were having a hard time through a few sections, but still, I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, like 114 is still pretty fast. Obviously, not the result that a runner like yourself is looking for, but I mean, it's way faster than my run. So
Different standards and all that, you know.
yeah, for sure.
Sure is a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG's to you anyway, Carter. It's
yeah, good games. You played well. Despite my complaining here, you definitely played well, so you deserve the win.
Thanks. I totally understand the complaining, especially at this level when so many things go wrong. It's just tough to keep any positive mind. I've definitely had that during the last 2 races, even though I won. So I perfectly get that.
Definitely. So Destructor, from looking through the bracket, I believe your next opponent will be B-Dog. How are you feeling about that?
Who? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't kill me. Honestly, no pressure going into this match. Like, just B-Dog, please just 107 on me so I don't feel any bad if I actually get a super good run. Because if I get like, I don't know, like mid 110, if I PB mid race, get a mid 110, if he gets like a low 110, I'll be like, dang, maybe if I played better. Because a mid 110 isn't something that he will be happy about. So I honestly hope he has a very, very good run, just so that if I also play extremely good, I'll have no regrets in the sense that, you know, having that feeling of, dang, perhaps I could have beaten B-Dog. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be in his favor. I'll just try to put the best fight possible.
Awesome. I am looking forward to it. Any other thoughts, shout outs, comments, etc. that anyone wants to make before we wrap it up?
Shout outs to you for commentating.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank you.
being one of the people that was actually around to do so. And thank you, Keku, as well, for running the tournament. It has been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big shout outs to Keku for all of the work that he's been putting into running this tournament. It's been an absolute blast to watch and to commentate as I've gotten to see awesome runners like both of these going through the tournament. It's been really great to see. We're nearing the end of it at this point. We're in the last like few rounds that are left, but there is another race. Let me refresh the schedule here real quick. There's another one coming up later today in about actually in about half an hour. We'll have Root versus Greggy on SpeedGaming 2. So keep an eye out for that. No, sorry, about an hour and a half. I had my time zone conversion wrong. About an hour and a half, we'll have Root versus Greggy on SpeedGaming 2. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up again. Thanks everybody for watching. GG's to both runners. Thanks for putting on such an amazing race to be able to watch and to commentate. Thanks everybody at home for tuning in, and we'll see you next mission. Bye everybody.